This is Dejan Brown. He is facing murder charges related to the death of his girlfriend, Nitisha Lattimore, and the death of her 3-year-old son, Nilo, in December 2020. Police said Nitisha was stabbed multiple times, and her remains were found in a body bag near the river. The child's body has not been found, but police believe Brown tossed the boy into the river. Dejan Brown was sitting in a courtroom in Ohio for a motion hearing when the grieving father attacked the man accused of killing his son and his son's mother. Nilo's father, Tonio Hughes, ran to the defense table where he began to punch Mr. Brown in the head. Mr. Hughes was later pinned to the ground by deputies.
Base, can we get back up in 560 now? Scott?
He tried to get back up again and attack Dejan, but authorities managed to get him out of the courtroom. If convicted, Dejan Brown could face the death penalty. As for the father, he was found in contempt of court and was sentenced to 7 days behind bars at the local Hamilton County Justice Center.
Each holiday, each moment, each season that goes by is very painful because, like I said, we miss our daughter, we miss our grandson. We feel empty without them.
This is Larry Nassar. He is now an American convicted sex offender and former osteopathic physician. For 18 years, he was the team doctor of the United States Women's National Gymnastics team, giving him access to hundreds of girls and young women who he abused.
I really feel that my entire family has gone through hell and back these last few months because of what Larry Nassar did to both my sisters and I years ago. I have known Larry Nassar for most of my life. He once was someone I had always trusted.
I would ask you to, as part of this sentencing, to grant me 5 minutes in a locked room with this demon. Would you do that? Yes or no?
No, sir.
Would you give me 1 minute?
You know that I can't do that. That's not how it is.
Well, I'm going to have to get something on.
Stay down. Stay down. I understand.
Let me have that, son of a bitch.
I understand, but stay down.
I want that.
Stop fighting. Fight your back. Put your hands behind your back.
I want that, son of a bitch.
Put your hands behind your back. I don't.
Give me 1 minute with that pass through.
Yeah, go ahead. You're good. You're good.
So professional.
1 minute.
Relax, sir.
Relax.
Take it easy, buddy.
Just relax. Okay, now we're gonna kind of let up, okay? You have to let up too, okay? All right, sit up. Get on your side. Sit up.
Where is he? 1, 2, 3, up. What if this happened to you guys?
Not behave like that. No one can behave like this. I want to make sure it's crystal clear. I'm sure Judge Hines.
You haven't lived through it, lady.
You cannot behave like this.
Nassar was sentenced to 40 to 175 years in prison for various charges, to be served after a separate 60-year sentence. That means he'll serve at least 100 years in prison, effectively a life sentence. And for the father, he won't face any criminal charges.
I came here in support of my daughters. I knew they were going to read a statement. I didn't know what all was in it. They would not let me see it ahead of time. I've dealt with my daughters as of late very delicately. I'm realizing they may never trust a man again. Then I got to hear that, and I look over here, and Larry Nassar's shaking his head no, like it didn't happen. Who would put themselves through this? It didn't happen. I lost control. I apologize 100 times.
This is Dale Williams. He is now being sentenced after confessing to running his ex-girlfriend off the road, then fatally shooting her. She was a mother, and her 2 sons are in the courtroom. You see the 30-year-old Anthony Dees sliding over the table and 23-year-old Jerome Stewart going around. And in this frame, Anthony has Williams by his leg.
Killed my mother, man. That was my mama. She took care of me, bro.
After Dale Williams' first sentencing was postponed, he was later sentenced to 23 years to life. And for the two sons, the judge sentenced them to serve 30 days in jail for assault, contempt of court, and obstructing an official business. This is Jason Howard. He's currently in a courthouse for being involved in a murder. But 5 months earlier, his ex-girlfriend and 3 children were found dead in their own home. Howard was the only person of interest, and during an interview, he claimed he was innocent.
I mean, I was a protector and a provider for my family, but I wasn't there to protect them and die with them. And I wish I was. I mean, to be honest with you, I'd rather be dead right now.
But remember, he is in court for a completely different murder. And the quadruple homicide of his ex-girlfriend and children is still unsolved. But the ex-girlfriend's family believes he is the one responsible for their deaths. The brother of the dead ex-girlfriend charges into the courtroom. The cousin of the victim now jumps in. The brother and cousin were both charged with assault. For Jason Howard, he is serving a 44-year-to-life sentence for the unrelated murder. He has not been charged for the killing of his ex-girlfriend and her children. Reportedly, no one has. To this day, it still remains unsolved. This is Michael Madison. He is now convicted serial killer from East Cleveland, Ohio, known to have committed at least 3 murders, all of whom were women. During his sentencing hearing, Van Terry took the stand to deliver a victim impact statement to the man who tortured and murdered his 18-year-old daughter.
Right now, I guess we're supposed to, in our hearts, forgive this clown. Who's touched our families, taken my child.
In this split second, Terry is staring right at Madison, and that's when, reportedly, Madison smiled back. Terry was released without charges. And in 2016, Madison was sentenced to death, and he is currently being held on death row. This is Clifford Thomas. He is the boyfriend of the mother's 3-year-old child who died from multiple blunt force injuries. Her death was later ruled a homicide, and the mother and boyfriend are in court together. During the sentencing, the child's biological father, Dwayne Smith, was getting ready to give a victim impact statement to the man responsible for his daughter's death. Thomas was sentenced to 57 months to 15 years in prison for involuntary manslaughter and 1 to 2 years for resisting and obstructing a police officer. Gordon was sentenced to 7 to 15 years for involuntary manslaughter and 14 to 25 years for first-degree child abuse. And for Dwayne Smith, the judge declined to hold him in contempt of court. This is Tristan Lamoureux. He pleaded guilty to shooting and killing his wife. At the sentencing, the brother of the murdered victim comes up to give a victim impact statement. The brother is making straight eye contact at the man that murdered his sister. The brother was quickly removed from the courtroom, and according to reports, he was also not charged. And for Tristan Lamoureux, he was later sentenced to 15 years to life in prison.